All right, good evening, folks, and welcome to the Town of Bluff Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting. Tonight is Wednesday, March 15th. It is 6:01 p.m. and we're meeting virtually and also at the community center. And this is Amanda Podmore, Chair. Let's go ahead and start with roll call with Planning and Zoning Commissioners.
Marcia Haydenfeld.
Melissa Aggie.
Malia Collins.
Ed Dobson.
Alrighty, and then from the town,
Erin Nelson, serving as town manager.
Thanks, Erin. Thanks for being here. Alrighty, we will begin with approval of the meeting minutes from our regular meeting on March 1st. So let me share my screen right now. We have no public yet. Oh, go ahead, Marcia.
Amanda, I just wanted to clarify. Erin, are you taking notes tonight? Because Kathleen is not. Is that correct?
Oh my goodness! Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I am.
You looked a little too casual. You didn't look worried.
Thanks, Marcia.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Do you want a second, Erin, to get situated?
Is Craig recording? If Craig is, I will be all set. Thank you all so much.
Okay. Thanks for checking, Marcia. Okay, here are meeting minutes. Marcia corrected the acting chair, just the name chair, so we can scratch that. I'm going to keep scrolling down. Under requests from town council for a letter from planning and zoning about the BLM Sitla land exchange, Marcia proposed changing the sentence. Eggy seconded, and the discussion involved. Oh, it's just just a typo. Yeah, never mind.
It's just a typo there, I think. Sorry.
Yeah. And then under item 7, RV ordinance assignments and timing. Marcia, you clarified that Haydenfeld and Collins agreed to find and edit an existing ordinance.
We're just gonna steal one. So
that sounds good. There's no other substantive changes. Anybody have any other comments or changes for these?
I motion to approve the minutes from March 1st as amended.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all in favor of approving, say aye.
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 All right, motion approved unanimously. Thanks, everybody. Next on the agenda is public citizens to be heard. Would any members of the public anybody would like to make a public comment? Okay, I will close public comment section. First up on our agenda under old business is an update from the town council, and Erin's going to do that on behalf of Luann.
Yes, Luann messaged me earlier and asked if I could cover because one of her kids is in town. So I think we've had 3 meetings since you all have met previously, 2 regular town council meetings and 1 work session. I'll kind of go over the high level stuff, I guess. We did open bids for the community block grant, and that is still pending. There was a report on the bid process for the Bluff airport. They're asking for a repaving project out there. And so the consultants are working on that. Malia was officially hired as the Bluff Community Center manager. And we certainly appreciate everything that Carol Shook has done for the town, and really want to thank her. If anyone needs any rentals or anything to do with any of our facilities moving forward, Malia is the person to contact. So thank you, Malia. During the work session, the council talked pretty in depth about discussion on Class C roads, including some ideas regarding slowing traffic down, what speed limits should be in town, and things like that. They also clarified that So currently, or I will say it was a roads committee, and now they've created a roads department, and in that there's just a little bit more formality, and we'll kind of use that department to set the tone for potentially other departments moving forwards. So that was approved and voted upon and approved during the last meeting, which was just last night, but it was talked about during the work session. Let's see, just as a reminder, on Friday, March 24th, planning and zoning, as well as other municipal members, are invited to the Active Transportation Advisory Committee government workshop from noon till 2. That's being held at the community center, and we'll also have a virtual option. And so we can send out all of that information however you'd like to attend, and it will be formally posted. So there's not an issue regarding if you all have a quorum. In fact, I certainly hope as many people as possible are able to attend. If you'd like to just attend as a resident, there's a resident session from 4 to 6 p.m. on Friday, March 24th. Let's see here. In terms of other things, the big update last night, and why I'm a little scatterbrained anyway. Anne and myself met with members of UDB yesterday. It's a very long day. And we had kind of like a full day session in which we walked around the CCC building and talked about potential future uses. And that was, it was a lot, but it was really promising to have some good discussion and good motion on that. I don't think there was anything else major, and I just appreciate your time. Whew, okay. 3 meetings. Wow.
Oh, thanks. Any questions for Erin? And just to confirm with the active transportation meeting, the one that government folks were invited to on Friday, I think, Melissa, you were interested, correct?
I think I said I would do it as if the other folks, I think it was you and Malia helped me out.
Malia, right?
And I would be happy to step in. I also wrote it down for 2 to 4. So like, I think I split the blocks. So anyway, are you folks still attending?
I can't go anymore because I have a full day meeting for work, unfortunately, that I have to like facilitate. But Malia, are you still able to go?
So officially then from noon till, and then 4 till 6 is the second option on the 24th. Yeah.
The first one is definitely geared more towards like the governmental entities, and the second one is residential. We'd love to have your input at either, and in person or virtual. Or I think, they'll also take feedback written if that's something that this group would like to do.
Okay, I'll commit to virtual from noon till 2, and then if I can be in person, I'll show up. Is that at the community center, I assume?
Yes, that's correct.
Great.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Okay. Moving on to new business in our agenda. Item 2, land use clearances. We did not have any come in today or come in for this meeting. So item 3 is review and approve changes to the land use clearance form. So let me share my screen once again. Oops. How's the size? Should I make it any bigger or?
I think it's okay, Amanda.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So scrolling down, Marcia, do you want to?
Sure. Yeah, we just had an example the other day of someone still not sure if they needed an LUC for a remodel. And I'm wondering if we're messing up in our wording, just the wording, not, what we expect. And in this case, it was, painting and fixing the kitchen cabinets or something. So I want someone to look at it and know they don't have to call us if they're painting and rehanging the kitchen cabinet or, and I want to know the difference so that if I'm just a person, I can just do that. So if I'm confused, then is everybody. So I put this in the form of the question, which is, am I the only one confused, or is it confusing? The word, particularly the word remodel.
Yeah. Because we define remodel in the definitions to say structural.
Well, but, okay, so pull, okay, so the remodel definition, let's see, go over here to policy, look at the word remodel.
I have an idea. I'm just going to brainstorm, throw this out as a brainstorm.
Go.
A while back, and this, help me out, Amanda, on when this was, but there was like a, what do they call it? Like a flow chart, like if this, then that, if that, then this. And I don't know if a simplified version of that makes sense to accompany this document so that people would know whether or not they had to do that land use clearance form or not. I don't know if we could like simplify that flow chart in a way that didn't become cumbersome to this form, but made it very clear, like, oh, okay, I'm under this much square footage, or I'm only installing a fence, or whatever. And then, like, you could even just submit that if you wanted to, and say, like, I'm just doing a fence. I don't need a land use clearance. Submitted this date. Love, Melissa. Right. So I'm just gonna throw that out as a brainstorm to try to make it easier.
Didn't we do that though? Don't we have that, Melissa? I'm getting mixed.
Well,
okay.
Flowchart exists. I just feel like we haven't brought it back up for a long time. Do you remember this, Amanda?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Sarah, it was in Sarah's time for sure.
Yeah, I think I made it. I'm just, I think it needs to be updated probably because I don't think it talks about remodeling. But we could revisit that. That'd be great because I thought that was helpful.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Brainstorm.
Where is it? Is it available to the public, or did I miss? Go ahead, Malia. We're all confused.
I am actually currently looking at it. I found it on our drive, and it says, want to build in Bluff? Yes. Planning on building, remodeling, or moving a pre-made structure. And then it breaks down into residential, commercial, or subdivision. And then it goes from there.
Okay.
I think I can share
So
it.
it does have remodel in it. And we have one hanging at the community center that needs to be reprinted because it looks really sad.
Yeah, no, but that was just our flow chart.
Oh,
Isn't she talking about our when to do it? Wasn't
Is it
now,
this one that I'm?
the one you're sharing is the flow chart. Is that the one Melissa meant?
Yes. This or
Okay.
something similar as like, is something visual like this something that would help the public, help the people, help us know what type of project folks are doing? Does this or a version of this, an updated version, even need to accompany the land use clearance form? And I'm throwing this out as a brainstorm, like how we make the process easier for everybody.
mhm.
Right. Well, this is actually the correct flow chart for someone just checking what they're doing. So let's look at the wording that says, if you're planning on building or remodeling and it's residential, and you go down here, could you go lower, Amanda, just so we see how it goes? And yeah, so single family remodel less than 2. It's that, yeah.
But
That's where it's confusing.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the remodel needs to be structural in nature, so that would be the update.
Yeah, we're okay. So what we need to do is on each of these pieces of paper, we need to update. So go back to, in my opinion, the LUC that we started this evening with, and get that right, which will lead to a correct flow chart. Is that right?
Yes. So
Okay.
I'm gonna remove your comment.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay.
So
How do we just, is it structural read?
less than 2,000 square feet. That is structural. in nature. Oh wait, maybe it's remodel that's
Yeah,
structural.
not remodel or addition, unless, yeah.
Is it like
Yes.
that? A remodel that is structural in nature?
Yes. That's before, okay. A land use clearance must be obtained before commencing any construction, before moving a pre-built home or structure onto a lot, a remodel that is structural in nature, or any new construction, which now we've said twice. We said
Yeah.
at the beginning of the sentence and the end of the sentence.
Maybe we say it here. Any new construction.
Comma, before moving a pre-built home or structure onto a lot, comma, a remodel that is structural in nature, comma, maybe that's it. Maybe that's the right wording. And then land use clearance valid for 1 year after. And if a building permit is not acquired within a year, we know that. Okay. So did that, maybe that clarified it for me.
I think it clarified it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
For moving a pre-built home or a remodel that is structural in nature.
Painting,
Let's try that. Yeah.
obviously out. You don't have to get any more definite than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Thank you. There. Took me a long ways to get there.
Nice. No, thanks. I think that's clear now. So
Long way home.
I keep scrolling until I see a comment.
Okay. I think I put one or two more, but well, wait. Where are your comments? You had some great ones.
Mine?
Yeah. There they are. Okay. They're not there. There we go. There we go.
First, noting that I put the name of the applicant on every page in the corner, because Erin, you said that would be helpful, correct?
Yes, thank you.
And then I added physical address or Google Plus code.
Yep.
Then for zone, sorry, my
Yep.
scrolling is being weird. For zone, I referenced the exact
To
URL.
the map. Good.
I put acreage of, maybe it should say property, acreage of property.
Yes.
I suggested parcel.
Oh, parcel. Parcel's good, Melissa.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Melissa. And then
I love that. I love the for new development, for remodel. I love that. Clarifying. Yep.
Okay. Square footage of. Is it clear how I put it?
Let's see. For new development, square footage, good. For remodel or addition, square footage. Okay. Yes, because you need two. One, the square footage of the existing, and one, the square footage of the addition. Yes, good catch. Good.
Okay. I'm scrolling down. So then it's
That's where I got, okay, that's where I put a question.
number and square footage of accessory buildings / dwellings, attach detailed plans if more than one building. And then, so Marcia, you said existing and proposed.
You did such a good job of catching what exists versus what's being built. We need to catch it here too. We need to say,
I see.
yeah. So number and square footage of proposed accessory building, is that?
So maybe like 2 lines, number of existing accessory dwellings, number of proposed.
Yeah, that's right. That's the other thing is, are you building another accessory dwelling? Number and square footage of accessory yes, great catch. Existing, and now it proposed, then get rid of my notes. Yeah. Number of proposed and number of, so now we got number and square footage of existing accessory buildings. We got number and square footage of proposed accessory. Good.
So should we move the attached detailed plans of more than one building to the proposed as opposed to the existing?
Sure, good, yeah.
Move this down to there.
Yeah, yeah, because you're proposing yeah. Okay, and then,
Could we
yeah,
could we
go ahead.
combine these like? Well, we don't need to know number of stories because, like, we just have a building height cap in the town, right? Do we need to know number of stories?
No, because it's a building height. You're right. You can take that one out
So
completely.
what if we did the same, like, building height in feet of existing structure, building height in feet of proposed?
Could you condense this a little by doing the number of whatever it is, and then just existing and proposed, and have one square, and that way it's accessory dwellings proposed, each one is, or should we have all these separate squares?
I don't know, what if folks
I guess just to make it look, I don't know. I don't care. But you can definitely take off the stories, because building height, I know, take out the stories. Now do building height : and now put two things below it. First existing, the word existing, and then below that, the word proposed, and see if we like it. And put colons there so they know to fill it out that way. And then you don't need 2 blocks for each of them. Right? Does that look all right?
I think that if we're going to put existing and proposed, it should actually be in this block on the right. And
Yeah.
put existing and then proposed there.
Yes, because they'll write next to it. Yes. Do it, and then do
Like
that
that.
for each. Yeah, and do that for each of the ones above, so we don't have to keep having blocks of it. So
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Sweet.
Leah, that's great. That's where you catch it. Yeah, there you go.
Melissa is so smart.
Yeah, Malia caught that. Melissa caught that. Nice going.
So while Malia's reorganizing that, and Melissa is adding that.
You two are working together. That's great. It's a team. Oh, that is totally nice. Yes. Now go back up a little bit to the ones we were. Yeah. Oh, good work, ladies.
So when we go to for new development, keep square footage, and then for remodel or addition, just do existing
Yeah.
and then proposed, but keep the separate box for new development so that we have that.
Yeah. So delete this row.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah. Perfect.
No. Square footage. Square footage of it. Yeah, you can take off. Yes. Yeah, take out the block below it then. Yeah. There you go. Yep.
Cool.
That goes, right? Yes. Okay, now go up one more and see if we can do that. Is that all we had?
I think that's all we have so far.
So wait, is it duplicated? Go down one. There. For new development, square footage. No, it's, oh, yes, for a whole new thing. And then for remodel. Yes, good.
Cool. I think we got it.
That's nice. Good save, ladies. I like that.
Yeah. Setbacks, set to approval date. Okay. Then, okay.
For our question real quick, sorry.
Yeah.
For our septic approval date, is there any other information that we need to know about the septic, such as how much is the septic approved for? How many buildings or whatever the septic approval is?
My answer would be only if it's more than just what's obvious. In other words, if they came in and they said, I'm building a hotel, we would say, you better show us that the septic will approve a hotel.
Mhm.
If they're coming in to build a house, but they've had a perk test, then the perk test will say it's good for, in other words, we're just double checking that they asked for what they really need.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure.
Asking a great question though, Malia, and I'm wondering if the common vernacular of like septic approval date also includes like a tank and a leach line. Do we like? I'm not saying I would be the one to say that's great or that's not great, or that our code even indicates any of that. Our code says that that's up to the county at present. But
Mhm.
I think you're onto a great question there, Malia. Are we capturing that in the documentation we've been receiving? I don't know the answer, but I think you're onto a great point there.
I think it comes to the honesty of the applicant. The applicant has gone to the septic people, to the county service and said, please test my soil for septic. And, and they say, yes, septic is good. We have to trust that they said for a house, for a hotel, or for something else, because we wouldn't be approving when they show us the piece of paper that says they got the septic approval. That tells us that they got approval for what they asked. I don't know how else we would trust that. So I'm not sure how deep we have to go in that.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah, because I don't think we have any requirements in our code to go any further than just ensuring that they have that approval. I don't know. Does that issue feel okay for now, or?
One more consideration is, and I'm not sure we have any way to enforce it or verify at all, but is your septic annually line on your parcel, or does it like go into the alley, or does it like all of those kind of things? Do we even want to open that can of worms? But I think these are major concerns when it comes to like wastewater, and I don't know that we at present can do anything about it, but I'm sure there are properties with grandfathered at this point automatic systems.
Yeah. Well, and like I was saying, I don't think we have anything in our code that says your septic system can't be in the alley or it has to. Like, I don't think anything is. I don't think we can ask that because it's not in our ordinance. It's
There.
I think all we are supposed to do is to say, do you have approval for septic on the property you're dealing with for the project you're proposing? And that's what they give us typically, is the sign sheet that says they passed their perk test or whatever. What Melissa and you may be alluding to is something that actually Melissa is very good about catching, and that is when we look at the drawing or the proposal, we just go, well, wait a minute, where'd you put your septic? So I think we only catch it when it's a surprise or wrong. And that's not, our job is to make sure it's within the description of what they're doing. So, and where they're doing it. So I think we've done what we're supposed to do.
That might be something that we don't really have control over because it looks like it has to be approved by San Juan County Health Department. So it's something that they have to approve, and that if they give it the go-ahead, then we are good. I do think it might be a good idea to put a little bit more clarification on, you did ask them the correct question, and like somehow getting evidence of that. If we are able to maybe get something written or signed by the health department, maybe sign this itself, septic approval date, and then signature of San Juan County Health Department representative stating what they're approving itself, or maybe that being on the septic system itself. Or that's just going too far.
No, it
what
is
do you
on
guys
there.
think? Oh, it is on there.
I mean, we get a piece of paper when they submit their packet. they submit a signature from the
Right.
county.
Although
Okay.
I guess I'm just reading. So because we require the scale plan drawing for like the smaller size development house, we say location of septic or individual sewage disposal system as approved by San Juan County Health Department. Maybe what that just says location. Maybe we should say we're not specifically saying we're requiring the proof of signature. So we should probably add that.
No, as approved by says that. Location of septic or individual sewage disposal system as approved by San Juan County Health Department. So they have to show us the San Juan County Health Department approved it and the drawing of where it is on the property. And we get that now, don't we? We already get it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we should be more explicit that we want a copy of that, because I do get questions sometimes about
We
that.
don't we get a copy? I thought you know what? I'm being naive. I don't get the packet. So I guess I don't know the answer. The packets that I see when you put them online for us, I often see the signature. I often see the health department because they're turning in a paper that says, show us your septic approval. Amanda, I'm confused. Amanda, do we get our piece of paper from them?
From the county.
From the applicant, when they give us a packet and they say, here are my drawings, here's what I'm going to do.
Sometimes I often get questions from applicants. Do I need, how do I show that the septic was approved? And I say, oh, send us a copy of the email or something. But technically, as this is written, it says you only need to show the location. So I'm also say, attach additional documents as necessary, including a copy of the septic approval.
You just typed that just now?
Yeah.
I like that. We could maybe potentially even move the including a copy of septic approval to the spot where we already have septic so that it's location of septic or individual sewage disposal system is approved by San Juan County Health Department. Documents included or something, including the copy, just so that it's all like, okay, check, I have my location as well as the copy, moving along. And then additional documents as necessary are
Below.
Yeah.
Just put it in the same line as location of septic or individual sewage disposal system as approved by San Juan County Health Department, including copy of approval. Signed copy.
Well, technically it's asking for two different things, because one is saying a scale plan drawing of the site with the location, and then I'm separately saying a copy of the subject approval.
Okay, I see what you're doing. Yep.
We're kind of
yeah, that makes sense. I like that.
Okay.
We go around in a circle and come right back to where we are.
My question with this overall was, so my beef with past applicants, no offense to any applicants, was that nobody ever checked off this check the box list, and I wanted to make it clear that we want the applicants to check this list of boxes. So I put in to be completed by the applicant for this type of development, please submit and check the following list, write NA for non-applicable. But is that not clear? Like,
no, I like that.
Let's see, Aaron, go ahead.
I'd go one step further and please write yes, no, or NA for non-applicable, just to like reiterate. I mean, clearly they shouldn't be writing no, but writing yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's just one step further that they are filling it out, not you. Because I agree that's annoying.
Yeah, I'm like, we made this nice list. Please check it. So that well, it's saying if you're like a residential applicant, you complete this list. And if you scroll down for other construction, please then it says attached site plan as required by the ordinance.
Because it takes.
May I offer an idea that might just be a psychological thing? If we put all of that into like a table and left an empty column that looked more like a box, or put a box instead of a line, would that just be more of a visual, like the person would know to check that or say yes or to say NA? Like if we insert, I'm trying to find those little squares and stuff to insert a shape. To show you what I'm talking about, but I'm going to keep looking on that, but that's just an idea.
Okay. Erin, go ahead.
I know this is definitely a form that you all need to be able to edit as necessary, but would this be something that you would want to publish as a fillable PDF, which I would be able to create for you, which would give the applicant A, the ability to fill it out online or like fill it out on their computer, and B, do those check boxes themselves?
Yeah, that would be great, Erin.
That'd be ideal.
Okay, cool. So we can definitely plan for that. I would definitely keep a version for you readily accessible so you can easily edit it, because once it goes into PDF version, it's more difficult to edit. But once you all sign off on this, I can take it, work my magic, and bring it back to make sure it visually works for you.
Because yeah, I think there is a better way to visualize it, Melissa. I think like
Melissa, that was
columns or something, or one for one type of construction, one for the other, or something. So, Erin, would you want to design that, or do you want us to think more on that?
Nope, I can design it, and then with your permission, I can also in the spot above where people are filling in information, I can make each of those a fillable spot. It doesn't impact anyone. You know, they can still print it out and fill it out by hand. That's no problem, but it just might make it easier. I know so many people are just used to doing everything online these days. A lot of people aren't, though. I don't want to offend anyone in Bluff, but.
So I'm going to put a comment for the following two sections are to be redesigned by Erin.
Maybe 45 minutes.
Okay. So with that in mind, how do folks feel about this application now? Oh, sorry. Last page is the office use where we put planning
Exactly.
official. I added the official name because we didn't actually have that. Then signature, date received, date approved, et cetera, et cetera. How do we feel about this now, knowing that Erin's going to kind of make it a fillable PDF?
I like it.
Yeah, I really like it. I think we caught a lot of the things that might have been driving us crazy. And of course, the minute we say that, someone will ask us a question and we'll go, oh, holy wow.
Yeah.
So let's just do it as much as we can.
Oh, Malia, go ahead.
I do have one other thought. Next to attach additional documents as necessary, maybe if we even put a line there that says number of documents so that we can ensure that we are receiving all of the documents that they are intending to put in there. In case they forget one and we're like, you have 5, we have 4, what are we missing? Just
Good.
for them and us.
Good catch.
So a number or a list? How should I put that?
Ooh.
List is good because then they can, like, that will automatically be a number, but the list, if I'm just going to make it up. If the septic approval is 3 pages, it's not 3 document. I mean, it's three, you know what I'm saying? So I'd say a list.
And that could be PDF nicely that they can just fill it in as bullet points.
No, not if we actually want documents.
Right. But just on this portion right here, where do we want them to list it? Just underneath of this?
I think, Malia, you're right. You're just trying to make sure if they think they gave us the color of paint document, then we didn't get it. We should know that on the list it says color of paint document. So attach, it's list any additional documents that you are bringing, that you are submitting. So, and not as necessary. So list any additional documents you are submitting would mean they're listing the color of paint document and the color of the car in the driveway document, or whatever they're listing. That's what they want. That's what they want us to get. Because I do like your idea, Malia, that they think they gave us something and they didn't. So list any additional documents being submitted. I think that's that's simple.
Should we just put a line here so that?
Yeah, so they know they can write it right there.
Here.
You know what? Maybe that's an Erin thing.
Yeah, just
there
to
you
put it
go.
so that Erin remembers to.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I like that.
That works.
Yeah, that was a good catch, Malia, because how many did they give us?
And I like that box that you put in there, Melissa. I think those are perfect for PDF also, that you can just literally X the box with PDF or yourself with the pen.
Well, be careful.
All of them, and get rid of the line out front, or I just kind of put it there as an idea. Field, do you want me to edit that right now, or?
I've got you covered. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Too
Erin.
bad.
Okay. Would anybody like to entertain or I would entertain a motion to approve this updated land use clearance form if we're ready for that.
I would move to approve the updated amended land use clearance form to be submitted through Erin's computer graphic updates. To include Erin's computer graphic updates.
I'll second, and I have a question.
Okay, so we have a second. So discussion, go ahead.
Thanks. I just wanted to ask, it's been a minute since we've done this. Do we send our approved, assuming we approve it, document to town council to review, or we can just upload that with Erin's expertise? Like, what are the next steps if we approve the document?
Yeah, we don't need to send this to town council for approval because it's just a administrative form. We're just updating, and there's nothing like substantively changing in it. Just clarification.
Great question. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, thanks, Melissa.
And don't tell town council.
I think they might hear about it.
Or tell them we have a greatly improved land use clearance. Okay, any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Ed, I didn't hear from you.
I was still muted. Aye.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thanks, everybody, and thank you so much, Erin, for the next step she'll be taking with that. Okay. Next on our agenda is item 4 is renewable energy discussion. So I have an update on that. I presented the idea to town council last night that as a commission, we noticed that there's not any place in town that is zoned for renewable energy discussion, or renewable energy development. And they generally welcomed that idea, and they suggested that we have a work session in the month of April, and we can invite Chris McEnany to that, and he can give us some legal ideas as to how to pursue where we might zone in the town for renewable energy. So he might give us ideas about, sometimes you can do like a zoning overlay map, like an energy overlay, that might be what's appropriate, or anyway, he'll have ideas for that. So to be scheduled in April, if that works for folks.
Awesome. That's a great answer.
Any questions or comments on that?
That sounds great. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's exciting. Okay, Item 5 is items for next agenda. So, Malia and Marcia, do you think we'll have any RV updates to discuss at that point?
Sure. Malia and I are scheduled to get together this week, and that'll tell us that we're getting somewhere. And if in fact we are, yes, please go ahead and add us. Why don't you put it on there? And if we get bogged down, we'll let you know.
Sounds good. Okay, so we have RV discussion. What else would folks like to see on the next April meeting?
We should probably schedule a work session. I don't know how I'm not completely sure how we want to schedule that, if it's looking at calendars or if it's something that we just say, this is the date we're doing it. So maybe put that on.
I could touch base with town council before and see if they have any proposed dates.
Okay.
Work session. We may have some items come up in the other section of tonight's agenda that could be on next month's agenda as well. So we can always add if we don't have any more ideas right now for next month's agenda. Okay, all right, we'll move on to item 6, other on the agenda. Does anybody, I have 2 other items, but does anybody have anything before I share? Oh, Erin, go ahead.
I was just going to mention, I know Melissa mentioned last time she was hoping for an update on filling the open position, which is kind of sort of a filled position. No. So Melissa, I don't have anything formal. I have heard a couple interested parties, one of which Anne is going to reach out to probably here in the next week, just to see if we can get like a formal, yay, let's get on the agenda. It does, whoever would be applying still has to go to town council and everything. But it's more hopeful than it has been. Unfortunately, I don't have like you're off the count, you're off the commission. But we just want to reiterate how much we appreciate you. Thank you for sitting in. And, if you ever just want to come and hang out with us on a Wednesday night, but that's where we're at. So thank you, Melissa. And hopefully I'll have good news in April.
Yeah. Thanks, Erin and Melissa. Melissa, would you be up for attending the first April meeting, or do you want to kind of wait and see if we're...
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to continue on, and if this looks promising, Erin, that's great. And then whenever that transition needs to happen, awesome. I will absolutely participate in the transition.
Great, thanks. Marcia, go ahead.
I have a question under other for Erin, and that is to clarify some training. And I think I sent you a question in email about what that training was, and then there was another training that came through to us. Can you update where we should be with our training, please?
I can't tonight, but let's do that as like a first thing, old business in April.
Okay.
If I send you something in the meantime. I'm so sorry, Marcia. It's been chaos.
No, don't be sorry, Erin. I understand from being on boards now quite a bit of my adult life that there is training available and training mandatory in many of these things. So I will rely on you to direct us to mandatory, obviously, but to other available as well. If you can keep us up to date and directed, that's all I'm asking. In the meantime, I don't care.
Clearly it wasn't pressing enough for me to hunt you down. So let's put that as Amanda, if that's okay, I'll put that under old business for next meeting.
Yes. And I believe the trainings that were shared recently were optional trainings. They were not mandatory. So, but certainly your participation is welcome. So we'll put that on next month's agenda. Okay, so I have my 2 other, or any others? Others squared. Okay, the first other that just wanted to address was we did have a public comment come in via email about concerns about density. This was from Robin Cantrell, a former planning and zoning commissioner, and she had said, just curious, in reading your past meeting minutes, I had a question about the Collier query regarding how many tiny homes could be on their lot, and a response I read was how many would fit. quote, I figure density limits would define this question. Am I wrong? I realize things like septic systems, setbacks, and so forth would be there, but please don't forget density issues with regards to property. Thanks for all you do. So Marcia, just so we're all on the same page, Marcia responded to Robin after reading through our zoning code and responded that there's nothing in our code regarding density in residential or commercial zones, only in agricultural zones. So while things like a tiny house might be limited by setbacks, by septic, as we said, there are no actual density restrictions at this point in time. We have not yet heard back from Robin on that, but I want to make sure that we're all on the same page about that. Marcia, do you want to add anything?
No, that was an excellent explanation, Amanda. And basically what it comes down to is we keep talking about it. Every time someone says, how many tiny homes? And wait a minute, I'm going to put, another house on my area. We go, wait a minute, you can fit it in there, but should we let you? And that's a density question. So all I want to make sure is that we all know that when a person asks us, she used the words, I figured density limits would define this question. We don't have density limits. That's all I'm answering. And I want to make sure that you all agree with that and we keep discussing it whenever we want to.
Anybody have any comments or thoughts on this other issue? Okay. I'll go to the second item, which I emailed you all. It came to Planning and Zoning's attention that a large sign, like a billboard sign, was put up by Twin Rocks on the highway on like the southwest end of Cow Canyon. A nice big sign, and we did not go through a sign application permitting process for that. And there's also a question of whether the sign of that size is allowed. And we also have in our sign code restrictions on, how does it say?
Off-premises.
Off-premises signs not being allowed. So Marcia sent us a review, an email, having reviewed the code. Thank you, Marcia, for doing that. This is definitely an enforcement issue in terms of both the sign permit application process not being followed and then whether or not it's allowed. So Marcia, go ahead.
No, there's one more issue that mixes in with our answer, and that is, I believe that was the existing billboard recovered, because that was the steakhouse all those years and such. And I put that in here too, which is that if it was an old sign and it hadn't been used for so long, then who gets it and is it legal? So in other words, you're right. It's enforcement of all of these things. I believe, if you want my next sentence is my opinion, I believe that we turn this over to enforcement, which is Erin reporting it to Anne, and they determine that a letter is sent to Steve and says, Mr. Simpson, could you just report to us on what you did with the sign, when in fact we haven't seen an application for it? Because then if he were to come to us with an application for a sign, we would use our sign code to determine if it was legal. If we determine it is legal, he gets to keep it. If he would determine he doesn't, he has to take it down. And the problem there obviously is the argument of, well, financial and all other things. That is not an argument for enforcement, because the reason you have the code is it must be followed. So if enforcement is coming from town council, which it is in this case, or town management, in other words, Anne directs Erin to write the letter would be, Mr. Simpson, could you please tell us what this is all about? We don't have any application for a sign. That's my take.
Um,
Comment?
go ahead, Ed.
If enforcement decided that he proceeded without authorization, would him just removing the facing satisfy, and then the sign sits there blank?
That's an excellent question, Ed, because the sign was a mess to be, if in fact it is the same sign, which I kind of think, but I haven't stood under it to look. Ed, that's an excellent question. It certainly is better covered, as we know, but that doesn't make it right. We can't just say, hey, it looks good, leave it there.
Yeah.
That's not, but I agree, Ed, that is an excellent question.
It does, yeah, it brings up grandfathering issues, and if the sign was abandoned, is that grandfathered use no longer protected? Yeah, it's not a straightforward issue, and what I appreciate Marcia's suggestion for how we move forward. If that's okay with folks, what I would recommend that I as the chair can send a short synopsis to the mayor and the Aaron, and that's how we can bring this issue to the town council. Is that okay with you, Aaron, instead of you bringing it directly to them?
Probably would be preferred in this.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, Amanda.
you.
You're the contact. That's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So I will. Ooh, just started raining. I will work on that email. So there, I don't know if there'll be a signed discussion at our next meeting or not, but just this is a good reminder if the public is listening that we do have a nice sign application form on our website, and that it's really easy process to follow. So, yeah. With that, any other items under the other section of our meeting tonight?
That was our best section besides the LUC was other, because we got a lot done.
Move to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I'll
Yeah, second.
Oh, we'll all say.
Leah? Okay. Any discussion? All right. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Have a lovely evening, everyone.
We adjourned at 6:59 p.m. Thank you so much, everybody. Aaron, big thanks for taking notes tonight.